Hey guys, Colby here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, I'll show you a set that I bet you haven't thought of using on your champions. I think it's one of the most underused sets because of the different things that it can do. It can break your synergy, your speed tunes, and everything. But it is a very useful set if synergy and speed tuning is not what you're looking for. So if you don't have a build, you haven't built a team where every single one of the champions needs to go at a specific time and not before or after another champion. So having that in mind, let's have a look at the set which drops from the Fire Knight's Castle, one of the most difficult dungeons. Unfortunately, right? It's a tough one. I know, but it's the Frenzy set. It drops from here. Most of the sets here are actually very useful. Even the weaker sets like the Curing set or the Fury set are still useful from the Fire Knight. So it can't go wrong when you're farming this, especially for end game builds. So Frenzy said, you give 10% turn meter for every 5% of HP lost. You're gonna think, okay, is that really worth it? Yes, it is, because especially on champions where cooldowns, you need to get your cooldowns up. Again, some of the cooldowns are through passives, which passives only refresh by getting a turn. They don't refresh by either the refresh accessories or the let's say climber. You have a climber in there, or a renegade, or a painkeeper, something like that. Then the frenzy set definitely helps. It's the next best thing over a relentless set. Relentless sets are only available through tournaments, and if I remember correctly, they did offer them in the past through the shop, which is obviously not the greatest decision to do, right? Because of all the RNG. Let me show you the champions that I use the Frenzy set on, and I'll be showcasing today. I have a few of them built right here. I have my Krisks built in the Frenzy set. I have my God Security. Where is my God Security? There she is in the Frenzy set. And of course, my Doom Priest as well with the Frenzy set. So, let's just start the showcase, and I'll show you God Secure, and maybe let me show you Krisk first, which is the easiest one. He's also featured during the 10x that we're gonna have the weekend, so you'll see his actual use in there in the Nightmare Hydra. This will be a very quick, I won't do the full run, just to see on what this does. So the good thing about Krisk is that he has the Ally Protect, right? So the Ally Protect helps everyone take less damage, but he is taking more damage because of that. And that in turn procs the Frenzy set. The Frenzy set gives him more turn meter, and because he applies continuous heal buffs on himself, it's basically the perfect combo of gear for where you wanna use it. All right, Krisk works great in here. It's the recommended set. The only issue is if you have him as the mischief target, he'll be going through his buffs very quickly, and that is why you need to have, you know, maybe another champion in there with many buffs on them to be the second target of the mischief in case Krisk just expires everything. So we'll quickly have a look at how often Krisk takes the turns. My frenzy sets that I'll be showcasing, all of them have around 250 speed, so they are very fast sets. You get already about 2 turns more than the enemies in the dungeons if you're above 200 speed. So it is something that is always recommended. Go over 200 speed. So here, this is just the normal start of the run. I'm doing my provoke here, and this is the normal run that I would do with my this is my Acrisia team, which does insane amounts of damage. I don't even need to do manual, but I want you guys to see on Krisk, and whenever he does his whenever he gets damage dealt on him, you're gonna see his turn meter just go overboard with that frenzy. It's just insane on how great this works. But the first couple of turns, because he has that big shield, it doesn't really work until he gets the Ally Protect. The Ally Protect is what really enables that Frenzy set to do wonders. So have a look at, boom, he gets hit. He still has the shield. There's a little bit of damage dealt there on him. Look at the turn meter always. Gonna try and get that head down, hopefully before the cleanse, if we can. We've got Provoke on us. This specific boss is quite tough, so you'll have to be careful. Wow, look at that. The cleanse is kind of nasty. Boom. We have the continuous heal buff, so that's going to help us keep us maxed out most of the time. Gonna try and get a provoke at least. Nope, didn't land. It's fine. We're losing turns there, but Still doing our best here. Let's see, can we cleanse? Yes. And have a look at Chris once he gets some damage dealt to him. This usually goes on a bit later once the Wrath Head also starts going crazy. There it is, boosting Terrameter. And that's because of the Frenzy set. We're going to get a big hit quite soon here. And that's going to proc it again. The next time this head gets hit, you will see a big AoE happening. And also Chris getting a boost to his Terminator. He's almost full now. So that would be like a waste if I did an AoE attack. Boom. There we are at almost, how much is that? 5% Terminator. Look at that. We'll do a big ally protect and attack, and this will proc this hit, and we'll get damage dealt on us almost immediately. Boom. Look at that. And look at his Terminator immediately after that. Jumps to about 70%, I would say, maybe 65%, just because of the Frenzy set. And the continuous heal buffs plus the ability that Chris has to get your buffs to another turn duration makes it like a fantastic set for him. I don't know why people don't really gear their Chris with this. It's just an amazing set. Usually they do regeneration, which I think is not really needed on Chris because he does apply the regeneration buffs on himself, the healing over time. So have that in mind when you use the Frenzy. Let me show you some other champions with this, because Chris is obviously the top target for that set. But let me show you again in the Hydra, where you get hit for a lot of damage. Another great example of using the Frenzy set is Doom Priest. I showcased her in the past for the Doom Tower. The reason why she's so good with the Frenzy set is because of this skill. Heals all allies by 7.5% of their health and removes one random debuff from them at the start of this champion's turn. This allows you to basically be an ambulance for your team. Your team will be getting hit by AoE attacks. You'll be doing the healing and cleansing more often because of the Frenzy set. If you don't have Relentless set, this is the next best alternative. I can even show you what I have right now equipped on Doom Priest. In terms of overall stats, Doom Priest doesn't need that much. Okay, she doesn't need accuracy, she doesn't need resistance for most builds, and she doesn't really need crit rate because this is kind of a random skill in the way that it works. If you crit with your A1 skill, she does a critical rate up buff on one random ally, so not really required. She's there just to be a great healer and cleanser, and also increase attack, which is not bad. It's not bad, which you can actually rotate through quite fast. So if you don't have an increased attack like here, you can actually use that as your increased attack buff. So here, let's see on how this run will go. Basically what we want to see is we want to get a lot of hits on our team from the enemies, especially AoE attacks. So here we do a little bit of hits here and there, just waiting them out. It's always great to put two healers together if you're running the Frenzy set, because one of them will be getting hit a lot and getting those extra turns, and that also helps when you have another healer to back them up, and each of the two healers will be backing each other up, and then they will be backing the other three, let's say control champions or whatever. So here I'm trying to take them out. I'm getting a lot of turns because of boom, a little bit of Terminator there from that hit. That wasn't like a strong hit. The biggest you'll notice the biggest difference on the boss. The boss is where it really becomes obvious on how the Frenzy set does make a difference, and how the ads also apply a decreased defense on you. If you don't have the resistance, they will apply it on you, and the boss will hit you. And if only one of the ads is then with the decreased defense, you'll get just wrecked. The reflect killed my Coldheart there, but I kept on going. Here we'll see it in action, where Doom Priest will be getting the most Terminator because of the big attacks that this boss does. And when the ads are up, this boss does insane amount of damage by ignoring the defense for each living ally. So he ignores basically 100% of our defense. So you kind of need to have high health already if you plan on beating this boss. And an attack down always helps. But now with Doom Priest, we're gonna try and boom, look at that boost in Terminator because of the cleanse. We cleanse already, the decreased accuracy, that is nice. There's the decreased defense. That can be very bad, but boom, extra turn because of the frenzy set. Well, not extra turn meter. Yeah, and it really makes your life much easier. And of course, as you move up in difficulty, the bosses hit harder, the ads hit harder. You'll be getting hit harder, so even more turn meter. It all depends on your overall stats, overall health, overall defense, and how you want to build your whole team. So here we're just stacking up those poisons. Actually, this is making the run quite fast in terms of the damage. So once the boss actually gets a turn, you'll actually get all those ticks from the poisons. It's a known strategy to use a poisoner, similarly to how the dragon works. So if you get a poisoner to survive there, you basically have this in the bag, and this will be an easy win. So the poisons have ticked enough for him to not revive the ads. Look at that big AoE. There's the cleanse. We already had a big turn meter boost because of the frenzy. And Doom Priest is already quite tanky because of this. And the boss will die. Boom. There it is. And it's dead. And right here, we have a look at the frenzy stat that you're looking for. You're always looking for speed here. Critical rate is nice, but not always required. And HP percent is something that I'll always be looking for in my stats. So not defense percent. Although defense percent is not bad, health is always nice to have, especially on ally protect champions such as Krisk. You see here, Krisk also looking for HP percent resistance, which is needed at very high levels for the Hydra. Speed and HP flat is nice, not always required. Here again, speed, resistance, HP. Let's have a look at the helmets. HP percent resistance, speed. Ideally here, this would have been accuracy. The same thing here, defense percent, speed, resistance. And that speed, accuracy, defense percentage. I don't usually keep frenzy sets with critical rate and critical damage, although if they're epic or legendary 6-star, I usually keep them because that's good for an offset piece. Although again, I want to complete my sets on my champions. Let's have a look at the gloves. The gloves usually I keep defense percent here. Critical damage, this was just because it was a glove, I think. That's why I saved it. Defense percent, look at that. Triple roll on speed. HP percent here. And then the chest piece says defense percent. Again, accuracy, very useful later on for the Hydra. Accuracy with resistance rolls and speed rolls. It's really just a Krisk item, this one. Except the crit damage. This is really bad. Ideally, this would have been maybe a defense percent. HP percent here, this one, defense percent, and then look at these boots, attack percent. I don't know why I rolled that one. This one, speed with triple accuracy, that's insane. HP percent with speed substats, speed, and of course the substats. Ideally, you're looking for HP percent and defense percent on the boots, and on champions that you need a lot of accuracy on, such as the Krisk. For the Hydra, you're looking for, you know, rolls on accuracy and resistance to get to the point where you are okay, and then you move on to different stats such as health and defense percent to make him a little bit tankier. So guys, this was a showcase of my frenzy set, some of the champions that I use it on. It's a very specific set, very difficult to pull off, especially on high, you know, high-end Hydra teams. As you see, my Krisk here is really you know, lots of resistance, lots of accuracy, lots of speed, lots of health, lots of defense. You need everything to make this this specific set work for the Nightmare Hydra, but it does work, and it works great, as you saw. And yeah, let me know down below in the comments on where you use your frenzy set, which champions, and where you think it would be best. Maybe I'll do another showcase in the future. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.